Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today me Khairunisa Naziha binti Kamal and my friend which is Nurul Huda binti Hassan and Vilisha Umar anak perempuan Hari Kumar want to present about one-story terrace house construction project. So I will present about background of the project. So let's go to the next slide. So the introduction of this project is why this project happened because a family who wanted to move to Batu Pahat has chosen our company which is Zainal Enden Construction Sdn Bhd to build a one-story terrace house which is suitable for their family to live in. The location is in Taman Jaya, Batu Pahat, Johor, and the size of the land is 3,400 meters square. Which has been discussed, this house consists of one master bedroom, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, 2 bathroom, kitchen, living room, car porch and dining room. The estimate cost required to build this house is 75,000 and it is possible that the construction of this house can be implemented in early of July. We as the construction material coordinator of building will ensure that the material and method we use in this construction are of good quality and reliable. So this is the result of site plan or design that we draw at AutoCAD, and this drawing is we use to this construction of this project. So this is the location is in Taman Jaya, Batu Pahat, Johor, and we build the project in this land. So we move to method of concrete preparation. So first, what is compacting? The compacting process is the compressing of fine size powder between a roll compacted. The compacted material is then typically reduced in size and screened to specification. The objective of compacting is to create a whole and to achieve maximum density. Furthermore, the reason of compacting is to ensure the requirement of strength, impermeability and durability of hardened concrete. The second one is compaction during construction costs much less than creating settlement problem after they occur. Next, where is compaction needed? Use compaction whenever the soil disturbed during construction or when it used to fill. Then compact disturbed soil beneath footing, slab, basement floor, concrete step and others. If a sand, gravel or crushed stone base is used beneath a slab, compact it too. Then we always compact fill soil before placing footing or slabs on them. Also, compact backfill next to footing and foundation wall. Besides, in this project, we use two methods which is hand compaction and machine compaction. So firstly, I will explain about hand compaction. Hand compaction is used for ordinary and unimportant structure. Workability should be decided in such a way that the chance of honeycombing should be minimum. And in this project, we use tamping hand compaction. Tapping is the adapted floor slab where is the thickness of concrete is comparatively less and the top surface is to be finished in smooth. It is a method in which the top surface is beaten by wooden beam. The second method we use is machine compaction. Vibration is imparted to the concrete by mechanical means. It causes temporary liquefaction so that a bubble comes on to the top and expel ultimately. Vibration machine has the various of type, and we use to this project is internal vibrator. Internal vibrator is the most common used vibrator in concrete. These are also called immersion, poker and needle vibrators. Then they essentially consist of a power unit and a long flexible tube at the end of which a vibrating head is attached. Furthermore, this power is provided by electric motor through the flexible hose. After that, the period vibration is required, maybe of the order is 30 seconds to 2 minutes. This thing can be save time and the construction can be complete quickly. And lastly is the tip of vibrator is available on different radius depending on how much rebar has been installed. So that's all about compacting. And the next slide will be presented by Nurul Huda binti Hassan. Let's go to the next slide.
So method that we use in our project is a method of curing. So curing is aims to control the rapid loss of moisture from the setting concrete. So the aims is to provide a seal to prevent or slow down the rate of water evaporation. So objective of curing is to keep concrete saturate. It can apply to cement, concrete, and other materials. So the purpose is to promote the hydration of cement. Next control the temperature of moisture movement method water curing. Type of curing has stamping, hand compaction, and water curing, and internal vibrator. We use water curing in our project because the application of the water is done to avoid the drying of concrete surface. So usually this method applies when the concrete is thinner. So for example, in building construction, the curing of um, the floor slab can be done with this method. There are two methods to apply the water on concrete. Example, ponding the concrete. Next, use sprinklers to spread water continuous. Okay, so two element of structure that we use is first beam and column. Okay, first I want to talk about beam. Beam is a horizontal structure element that withstand vertical load, shear force, and bending moment. In which case, the beam is often called a lintel. Beams also were formed by timber. This is because the beam is designed for heavy loads. So the beam that we use is a reinforced concrete beams. So reinforced concrete beam are important structure element of building that are designed to carry traverse in external loads. So next, the this loadable to cause bending moment, shear force, and some causes torsion across the length. Has um, there has five types of beam. Example, simply supported beam, cantilever beam, overhanging beam, uh, continuous beam, and also has fixed ended beam. Next element uh, are column. Okay, next I want to talk about next element, which is column. Column is a vertical structure member that carry loads mainly in compression, subjected to the effective length less than 3 times. Next, columns are transfer loaded. Eh, Next, column are transfer vertical loaded from ceiling, floor, and uh, from ceiling, floor, or roof slab, or from a beam. Columns typically construction from material. And column that we use to this project is a tight column. So tight column is a column which is the longitude reinforcement bars are tied together. So the cross section of such columns are usually square, rectangular, or circular in shape. And also a minimum of 4 bars is used in and circular cross section. In column element has too many types. So like example, we have tight column, spiral column, composite column, and axial loaded column. Beam and columns are two important types of structure elements that play as a key role in creating a safe load bed to transfer the weight and forces on a structure to the foundation and into the ground. So next slide will be presented by Vinisha Umar.
Thank you, Huda. Now we are going to talk about local timber as a construction material. Okay, what is timber? Timber is a word has been used in construction for thousands of years and it's still one of the most widely used building materials. Certain properties of wood can be complex in terms of use for construction, but despite this, engineers have successfully harness this natural resource to build a variety of structures from house to boats and other shelters as well as the furniture and decor. The construction industry has exploited the potential of wood to the fullest. Wood is a favorite as a material because of the wide variety of properties depending on the type. It is readily available and economically competitive as well as being extremely strong in relation to its weight. There are two main reasons of timber, which is ecology and sustainability, durable and easy to maintain. Okay, what is ecologically and sustainability? People have been building with timber for thousands of years. Timber is an ecology and sustainable and truly renewable building material which we have known it before. Timber is grown quicker than it's used. Most of the main timber supplying countries have long-standing policies to regrow the more timber than it's felled. If new trees are planted to replace those harvested, timber will continue to be available. Timber is milled all over the world and it is often used close to where it is produced. This promotes local economics and reduces to the energy to transport materials long distance. And then it takes a very little energy to convert the wood in trees to the timber used in buildings. This means that the embodied energy timber is low. In fact, it is the lowest of almost all common building materials. Okay, next I'm going to explain about plywood and deodar wood. We have used these two kinds of wood in our project. Plywood is an engineered sheet timber product that is widely used for construction purpose. Okay, plywood is commonly used in many construction projects. Plywood is a type of wood that has been engineered from piles of sheets of wood veneers that are very thin. These sheets of veneer are carefully glued together in high heat of pressure. This allows it to form into a thicker and flexible sheet of wood. Due to the way of unique engineer, plywood has very strong qualities and tends not to wrap or crack with changes in temperature and moisture. Moisture proving to be valuable material in the wood of construction. Plywood's versatility allows to be used in many different construction applications. If lumberyard, if if you are in need of plywood in Nashville. TN, look no further than Oakley Lumber Company. We have many types of plywood available at our Nashville lumber yard, as well as the building supplies you need to for your next project. Okay, now we take a closer look of plywood, which is commonly we judge, which is interior wall. Since plywood is strong and flexible, it makes great candidates for the framing and paneling the interior walls. Cabinets. Surprisingly, plywood works great for cabinets. Typically, plywood is used for the back of the side of the cabinet, which we can see from the back side. Roofing and flooring. In many flooring projects, professionals tend to lean towards the plywood for subflooring. Additionally, plywood is commonly used for the variety of shield roofs. So mainly we can see at the northern side houses. So because of the weather, they use plywood. Furniture, due to the durability and cost effectiveness, plywood is very suitable for the building of furniture. Typically, plywood is used in the creation of desserts, wardrobes, and shelves and bookcases, etc. DIY project. So we know that DIY project mostly is used by plywoods or woods. Plywood's great versatility make it useful for a number of around the house DIY project, from birdhouse to skateboard trends. The possibility of project is endless. Also, plywood is a great material to make workbenches, sofas, and other workspace items from. And lastly is exterior walls. Many times plywood panels used to create exterior wall sheeting. Typically, the plywood is fastened to each other, adding extra strength and helps to prevent vertically and horizontally shutters. So it's mostly we can see at a store side, which they have a store and a shop, and they'll put a plywood middle of them. So the store will be the place that keep things, and the shop will be the people who are came and in together. Okay, deodar wood is the most important timber tree, providing softwoods. Okay, what is softwoods? Softwoods are generally used to make more than inner structures to the frame of hardwood, such as doors and windows frame. It is also used to produce furniture, but most of the time there are less, or if the woods are availability, they will use most of them. The words lumber and timber are often used to refer wood used specifically in construction work. However, there is a debate as to which terms should apply to different scenarios. As a rule of thumb, wood which is smaller than 5 inches wide by and 5 inches thick is referred to as a lumber. These pieces are usually machine planked and sawn for certain dimension, primarily being used in residential construction. Pieces of wood over lumber dimensions regardless of length and timber, although any timber pieces are the most than 8 inches wide and 8 inches thick are called beams. As timber is usually large in dimension, is used for the frames of structures in building and bridge, as well as being used in railroad ties, mine shaft support to crossing utility poles. There are many advantages of using timber in a construction work, which is no limit on design and size. There's no limit and no design for the size, so we can use anything to build a construction. So considering a relationship between using the material and the environment is very important when building a home. Using timber in a main building material is a high choice with endless design possibilities, as well as unrivaled physical and technical property for the timber frame home. So when we use timber, we can design any kind of designs. So it won't be a problem. When we use bricks, it will be a most difficult thing to design a house. Okay, and then the second one is quick building time. The speed of build is quicker with the timber. Timber frame can be partly pre-cut or modulated and built to precision, making build time much quicker than for brick build. Time is also saved since less building debris is around the clear. Which I said before, when we use timber, the work will be more faster. When we use brick, the work will be more slower because of the energy we use, and because when we cut the timber we won't feel that much harder. When we use bricks we need to shape the brick into each other size, and we have lots of work to do and it take more times. Timber frame building are far quickly to erect the bricks of some buildings. A quicker building time clearly saves time and money for both domestic and commercial property owners. Building with timber is also less specialized and expensive scale. Okay. Durability and easy to maintain. Timber is a high durable material. Some well-made modern structures last for centuries. It is also easy and cheap to maintain compared to other materials, especially if you don't mind if changing the color over time. Okay, once we use timber, we don't have to maintain it often because it's because of the property and the characteristic. And once we use the bricks, not a half of decade, we can see the line between the walls, so it's cracking and it's hard to maintain with the bricks. This is what they are telling. There are few potential of playwoods and advantages, which is high strength, high panel share, flexibility, and moisture resistant. So among four of them, there are flexibility, which is most accurate to them, because unlike cut timber, plywood can be used manufactured to the fit every requirement. The thickness of each veneer can vary from a few millimeters to several inches. The number of veneers used also ranges from 3 to several, increasing to the thickness of the sheets. The extra layers, the more strength the plywood. Thinner veneers are used to increase flexibility for those in shielding and paneling. So from among those of them, I would prefer the flexibility because of the characteristic. And then the high strength. Plywood has the structural strength of the wood is made from. This is in addition of properties obtained from its laminated design. It grains each veneer are laid at 90-degree angles to each other. This makes the whole sheet's resistance of splitting, especially when nailed at the edges. So this is about high strength. And then lastly we are going to talk about, this is the plywood, which is made from thick wood, and this is what deodorant would look like. Thank you. This is all from group, and I hope one like it. Thank you.